Good morning, GM, and welcome. This is the Good News Show. We are here. Good morning, Brock.
Good morning. How are you?
I am good. This is our Wednesday Superchain edition of the Good News Show, and we're here a little bit early today because there's a ton of stuff going on. I'm live in LA, getting ready for base camp, and you have a huge day for your community. So, well, first of all, how are you feeling?
I didn't sleep, so that's always a good way to be prepared for the day. When your brain's just like, will be fun, not sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
But that is sometimes the norm here, so that's I'm totally fine.
Those we have here.
Yeah, but excited. And I think that this is the most super chain of all shows that we've had yet. Because you're like out at base camp and ready to like jump in and meet all the people that build the things and talk about the future. And that's I think that is cool that I wasn't able to make it, but I'm glad that at least half of the show is there and gonna pick up all the insights and the alphas and just be a part of this journey that we're all kind of on collectively. So it's pretty fun.
Yeah, I am definitely sad that you're not here, but just like feeling the energy before it's even started. I got in yesterday to LA and just ran into Raven at breakfast, which is really cool. And just kind of got a few minutes to settle and charge those social batteries in preparation for today. But it's really exciting. It's, knowing those 350 builders. There's like a few group chats going on with, just everybody introducing themselves. And there's people from all over the world, from every different kind of background, protocol level, artists, creators. So I think it's going to be a really wonderful experience. And the programming looks really light in terms of like intense talks. It's kind of like 2 hours of what looks like seminars and discussions, and then a lot of just open free time for creativity and getting to know each other. So
I think that was similar to how FarCon was as well, where it's, I think, like, let's not schedule every moment and let like the things naturally happen how they happen. And some of the connections that were made where it's like, we've got like an hour before this next thing, like I can spend the time, I can be in the moment and, hear real frictions or hear real wins. And I've seen teams come out of who just randomly cross paths at FarCon. And so I'm hoping that this is the same thing to where, we are small but mighty now, but all of these things that are getting built, all these things that are coming online and being improved almost daily, if not weekly, is making it to where when more people do show up, their journey is a lot more smooth. So it's like we're building the road through just going to build things, and soon it'll be just a super easy, smooth highway, and people will just be like, wow, it's really nice over here. And I think that's the way. So.
Well, I will go through kind of some of the things that are on the schedule. And I also want to make sure that everybody has the link, because it will be live streamed tomorrow, at least the programmed part of it. So we will definitely get that for folks. But good morning, wherever you are tuning in from, or good afternoon or good evening. If you are enjoying the show, if you're ready to kind of spread the word about what's happening on the Superchain, definitely give this a share wherever you're watching it. And let's get into it. So one of the main reasons we are doing this a little bit early today is because you have a big announcement.
I mean, it's been announced, but it's a big event.
But not in this video, it hasn't. So do it.
And I feel weird like talking, because this is very much like lifting up like the Superchain as a whole, and I feel weird kind of saying like, oh, and now it's time about me. But for those that don't know, 3 years ago, I started an NFT project. And I wanted to do it differently than most NFT projects. It started off out of spite, which is a really good way to start anything. Someone on the internet, would you believe, said something I didn't agree with. And so I committed 3 years of my life to it to prove them wrong. Now, they said NFTs aren't real because you can't touch them. And I do think that like the speculation of NFTs and all that stuff was like, we got a little crazy. But I do think the technology and what it can empower and do all kinds of other things is just super fun. And I think the biggest part of this project was creating something that could make an emotional connection instead of just so it's like, if I can make something that touches you emotionally in a way that's causing a physical reaction. And so NFTs can touch you physically and change your life and whatnot. And so I made these lovable little fish, and it's more fun to say fish than it is fish. Also fish, it seems like there's like an animal named after that. It's weird. But anyway, created these aquatic creatures, and then you can, buy one NFT, then you can create unlimited tanks, and I airdropped all kinds of accessories. So it became like me giving people a canvas in the platform itself that goes with these NFTs, but then also like giving them tons of like creative pieces to where even if they're not an artist, in a way they're designing their own tanks in an easy way, and they can enjoy them on their monitors, they can enjoy them on their phones, they can enjoy them, like a lot of people sling them to their TVs, and it's like a fixture in their house, VR, you name it. And so just it turned from, you know, creating this connection with this fish that you fall in love with, and then one day your NFT will die, and it's a random date that I don't even know. And so people have this now core memory of, you know, going checking on their fish and seeing it floating. But I never wanted to take anything away from anyone. And so even though your fish may die, there's like it added a link to their kind of platform, if you will, that says Underworld. And when you click that, it takes them, everything just switches to this like fishy underworld, where you can enjoy them as like little ghost fish or skeleton fish, depending upon, you know, your fish. And so they swim on forever. And so there's a platform called Vivi that I've been, you know, friendly with the team for ages now. They do huge drops like Marvel, Disney, all kinds of things, and also a bunch of independent artists. And I was lucky enough to kind of float by them an idea of, you know, fish being able to be a part of that. And so we did that, where everybody that had a fish, the NFT fish, got a code to get a 3D animated interactive collectible. And so we did that. And I was like, sweet, people seem to really, really like this, because they were able to like put it in AR and like take it to the beach or take it to their kids' classroom and like you took it to the United Nations. So these fish have traveled digitally from an idea to something that breaks people's hearts to now something that travels the world and can be with you everywhere. But I wanted to bring the other piece, right, like that fishy underworld to life, or afterlife, if you will. And so Vivi luckily let me just jump in again. And so today is the first official like drop where for a couple bucks you can jump in and grab a fish. And the fishy underworld, they're like these 4 glowy fish, and just put a ton of little extras and story in that. But it's really kind of coming full circle with, first there was like these artist collaboration fish that hit Vivi, and now this is the fishy underworld. And there's some more stories that I'd like to tell, but we'll see. Again, not my house, so I don't want to be a bad house guest with Vivi. But yeah, if you've not done a Vivi drop, vivi.me is the URL for kind of signing up, or you can download the app. And then the drop is happening in like 15 minutes. And so what that means is everybody's going to go into the app or the website in 15 minutes and hope that they got selected to kind of buy the drop. There's like a wait list. If you don't make it to the wait list, then you can still go for the rebound afterwards. And then, yeah, you just pay and you'll get a blind box of a fish. There's 4 different varieties. And then if you collect the full set, there is a special airdrop as well. I was going to keep that a secret, but the article went out with all of the information in it. And so surprise, there's a half surprise waiting if you do collect the set. And yeah, just for me, the project has been about constant value. Like, you know, how much can I push the limits? How much can I do to try and reward this experience? So we've done everything from like creating albums, like musical albums, becoming executive producers of a movie. There's games, all kinds of stuff. And then, yeah, we have our own state together, you and I, in the middle of nowhere in slow Jamistan. Like, it gets to the point where you've done so much that you start to forget all the things. And so for the last couple of months, I've stepped away a little bit from the fish, just because we had, unfortunately, one of our community members pass that was like super special. And so it almost like hurt to deal with fish stuff. But this Vivi thing has finally come to life, and I'm back and super excited for some things to start to come together again. Yeah, this drop is super special to me. There's lots of cool little hints. Some I've shared on X, and others it'll maybe come out one day. But yeah, so super exciting time.
It's so exciting. And I did just drop links underneath all of the places, so folks definitely go check them out. It's interesting because when Rad had been just in my ear saying, you have to meet this guy, Brock, you have to meet this guy, Brock. He's doing so many cool things, like with this project Fishes. And I think he should, like, Yuga should be talking to him. Like, he's just, what he's doing is like so ahead of kind of where a lot of these projects are. Talk to us a little bit about just kind of the dynamic aspect of Fish, like just how folks who own Fish can expect things to evolve, and maybe just a little bit deeper in what your thought is around the kind of the journey.
Yeah, and so we're 3 years in, but like I think it was like a first week, you know, because there's these tanks, right, and it's a platform, and so everybody was jumping in, doing their tanks. So small little things like over time, like a trident, so out of some random tank started growing out of the bottom, and like mysteriously, kind of like you know, people didn't know what was going on, and then eventually, once it fully emerged, everyone that had that in their tank got that as an airdrop. So then they now became this. And at the beginning, it was the supplies on things sometimes were really small because we were like anti-hype, just like word of mouth. It's like someone jumped in, like, this is wild in like the best of ways. Like I need to talk to somebody else about this because I'm so excited. And like that was like my hope, is that let's grow this big and small, but big through small things. And yeah, so you can log in now too, even if you want a fiche, but you don't want like to buy an NFT, or you don't know what like Web3 stuff is, which hopefully if you're on the show, you do know. But you can sign up for this and you get a free Web2 fiche. So it's not an NFT, it's something that just stays with your account kind of thing. And so just trying to make it easier for people to jump in, or kids wanted it in. And so like, it's hard to get a kid to sign up for a wallet without like talking to their parents, or so they just like, if you have an email, go for it. And you can sign up. And so these are the 2D. Yeah, these are them. And so here, these are flat, but if you get them, they're all animated. So they're all like statically swimming, or not statically, sorry, they're swimming in place. There's like an idle animation kind of where they're just like swimming, bobbing up and down and stuff. So you can just like kind of place them in AR and they just exist. Or if you tap them, then they actually animate around and swim in unique patterns. And then each one of them are all uniquely animated. So it's not just like make Finn move like, so they're all like in sync. They all kind of have their own little personalities and things like that. So yeah, this is, these started off as 2D drawings that then one of my brilliant modelers, he works very well with knowing what I want as far as that. So we worked together on these to bring them to life, and then he animated them. And then, yeah, so there's just tons of little secrets in all these things. They are, to my knowledge, the first glowing things in VV, because VV doesn't do like natural glowing things in their engine. So we had to get like really creative on how to make them glow. But I think it turned out super, super cool. So
they're beautiful. Tell us, just, I know you don't want to keep talking about it, but I'm just, there's a lot.
It makes me feel weird, but if people are interested, I'm happy to talk about it. I just don't. I would rather almost like make somebody so excited that they talk about it instead of me feel like I'm shilling it.
Well, that's what's happening, because I'm talking about it, and I'm a fiche fan and I'm a holder. But let's just say why we're talking about it on this show, because VV is built on Base, right?
So just to be clear, yeah, their token that runs their whole app thing is on Base. Yes, they've moved to Base. Currently, the NFTs are on Immutable X. I don't know if they'll move. I hope they do, because I just prefer Base over Immutable X. It's easier to like build tools and things with than my experience with Immutable X. Not bashing Immutable X. It's just Base seems a lot to work much better with my mind and everything else. And so if they do that and things open up, then I really would like to start to build things that work for not only my fiche, which are also coming to Base, but also like these fiche.
Alpha? Did we just get alpha?
I've been talking about like in my community on like the Fichcord, which fichcord.com, is our Discord, saying that, you know, I want to do it, but I want to be thoughtful for it. So like if I move everything to Base, what happens to the old assets, right? And so trying to do something cool for the OGs that were on Ethereum, and then they get the bonus of their fiche like traveling over to Base. Also talking about like reducing the supply a little bit. I've got some ideas that I want to do, and so reducing the supply a little bit for some of those ideas I think makes sense now. And so yeah, just future kind of getting back into, stepped away a little bit because mental health things and just the community thing, which was just unfortunate, but I think in a way that sent me on a journey to dive more into Base and more into other things. And so I see a future where, Farcaster frames, like letting people have like their own almost like Tamagotchi version of fiche, which fiche I think gets compared to that a lot, but you don't have to feed them. They do die, but it's random, much as life. You don't have to feed them. You don't have to clean up your tanks. All of the boring stuff of having a fiche goes away because we use magic water. And then we get things like portals where like fiche can teleport from your tank into somebody else's tank and travel. And so there's just a lot of things that I tried to push to try and make it the best experience ever. And then now I think I'm coming back with a new set of tools to keep going. So
we got Jen echoing here. She says, talk about it. It's super cool. It is super cool. And just to touch on, so you did some really exciting artist collaborations with fiche. You have Mumbot. We had Brian Morris. Who else? There was a couple of other real
Command Z, Johnny Rodriguez. He's super talented. One of my favorite artists. Like I have some of his physical stuff and just can't say enough things about that. And then we had Fabrics. Sorry. He's also known as Crypto Crayons. He's very much friendly with the VV community. And I said, if I ever was able to kind of squeak my way into the door, I want to kick it open and run as many friends as I can through the door as well. And so in a way I was able to kind of, and again, not discounting they could definitely be in VV like on their own right, but just if I'm going to come in, I want it to be a friends celebration as well. So my first at bat with VV was taking my fiche, animating them, doing all the other stuff that I knew we could do, but then like wrapping them with these really, really unique art. And like, so Brian Morris, good friend of the show and good friend in general, his is like a transparent like glass fiche. And so like you can see not only it moving, but its insides kind of like, and not guts or whatever, like these artistic kind of insides like moving around. And some of the secrets even for his, knowing that they would be viewable in AR, in the eyeball of his fiche, if you get really, really close to it, or you like look at it in AR like close, it literally has a silhouette of a person holding their phone in it. So it's like it's your reflection. So in a way, his art put you in the thing. So I don't know, just tons of cool things. And I think
that's I think it was Brian's that I took to the UN.
I think so. Yeah.
I think it was, which was really, really cool. I was at the UN in that kind of room that they use for the General Assembly. And I was like,
if people only knew how many fiche were flying around their heads in the UN all the time.
I was able to just capture this little video of like all
just flying by,
being serious, and the fiche just kind of, it was awesome and just super fun. And we've done a couple of collaborations. We did something with the Wave Warriors for Toki, which was really cool. So we'll definitely be talking about that again soon as things fire up. But I also just wanted to share, because you touched on it briefly, I think we have to just talk about what Slowjamistan is really quick.
Yeah, it's a republic of Slowjamistan. It's landlocked by the United States near the Mexican border somewhat, but inside there is 11 states. And as I had grabbed one because my community told me about it, and so Fichissippi was born. But then because there was only one left, but that one they were looking for more of like a sponsor type thing. I was like, well, that's not good. Can we be bunk bed states? And luckily His Greatness, the
Sultan,
the Sultan, he was like, yeah, that's fine. And so you and I now share the same land space. And so Goodlandia as well is there, part of the Good News Network, and Fichissippi. And so, yeah, Fichissippi is the world's best buried water park. There was a water park that got buried under sand. And so still a great place to visit. And I'm working on some pretty fun things in the state to bring to life. A little slower when you're dealing with a physical and distance, but still coming together.
I'm hoping. For context, this is an actual physical place. This is
people have physically gone. People that I don't even know have visited and put photos on. Like I found photo. I'm like, you're in my state. I'm the governor. I should have been there to meet you. I'm so sorry. And so that's it's a good time. And I think that the Sultan does a really good job about like getting people out there and doing all kinds of stuff when he's not also being a radio DJ.
Playing slow jams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Brock and I are essentially the governors of two microstates in the land of Slowjamistan. I am the governess of Goodlandia, and Brock is the governor of
Fichissippi. Yep.
Collectively,
the best of the cities.
The bunk bed states. And no, we're not taking drugs, folks. This is a real thing.
This show has sounded made up for the whole thing. It was just like, wow, these guys, they just I've just been rambling nonsense, but no, like in five minutes, these digital spooky glowy fiche are coming to life through VV.
Oh my gosh, it's happening! It's in 6 minutes. Yeah. This is exciting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
I'm going for my own drop. So it's a weird thing. I went for drops for years and years and years, and now I'm going for my own drop to try and hope to buy one of my own things. But it's cool. I'm excited.
That's really awesome, and we're going to keep going. So the launch will be live at 10. So if you have 10 Eastern,
11 Eastern.
Sorry, 11 Eastern. Oh my God, it's 8 a.m.
5 minminutes and 7 seconds away. There's a timer.
Then just said, "Help me, Rach. I need one." Okay.
Download VV. It's a little bit because within the 5 minutes, like there's a wait list that happens like 30 minutes before the drop. You can join like 24 hours in advance, and then after that it'll be the first round where people get selected or not, and then if there's any left, then you can go for the drop right after. But the wait list is like the best way to try and get in.
All right, so we'll keep going
today. Small 5-minute news: Degen Claim Day also today.
It is already?
Wow, it's August tomorrow. Yeah.
That's crazy. It doesn't.
I know. July was just like. Bloop.
Yeah. Wow. Do you want to talk about just how the last month has looked for DGen? Because
I've given out way more DGen than I received, but that's okay.
Really?
Yeah, it's okay though. Like I just every day try and give it out. And I'm not always like in the mix, especially lately. I've been super heads down with like building stuff. But there is a new app a new client that I've been using called Wildcard. I do want to, so Wildcard is a really cool client, in my opinion, that does a lot of things that maybe Warpcast is not aiming to do. And so it's cool that we kind of get the best of both worlds with Farcaster, as I can jump into Warpcast and do XYZ, and I can flip immediately over to Wildcard, and it's like the same account. So I can use, like, by using both, I kind of get to win on both. Instead of waiting for Warpcast to do what I want or Wildcard to do what I want, I can just use both. And it's pretty seamless to jump between them. And so that's, I think, the beauty of Farcaster kind of coming alive. But yeah, it also has like where you can like the SocialFi, where you can like buy tickets for people, but then you share in like an allowance and an airdrop of Wild, which is another token. But you don't have to. You could ignore all of that and then just use the client. And the client has scheduled casting. So if you want to like pre-schedule your cast because you want to sleep in or whatever, it has pinned casts. So you can like say like pin something to your profile, excuse me. And then people can kind of go and see what you're all about. It's kind of like having like an introduction to you beyond just a little bio. So that's pretty cool. Tipping is like a first class thing, but instead of having to type everything out, it's a tipping button. And this is similar to what Supercast was doing, but it has all your allowances, and you can actually just do a percentage of your allowance, and you can flip between different currencies. And so it makes tipping super, super easy. And yeah, there's tons of other features. Oh, translations. By default, it's translated in a bunch of languages. So I could see this being like a non-English client just like flocking to this because it just makes it easy to use the app. They don't have to like use an action to like translate the cast to then reply and translate that. Like it just removes all of that. And then for the reverse is also true. So like if I'm not a Japanese speaker and I go over to like a Japanese channel, I can just read everything they're saying and I can reply and they'll get it back automatically translated. So in a way, it's breaking down language barriers that I think in a way that was fixed, but not as much. It's wildcard.lol, which is a very serious client. But to me, I found a lot of joy and excitement similar to when I first jumped into Warpcast with just all the cool features. And so having two solid clients going, we win by default because we get both best of both worlds. And then also if you're on Farcaster, like you have your account is on Farcaster, you can deal with that account through any app or any client that you want. So Wildcard is just another one that you can flip between. So
I think just maybe some folks have kind of similar questions to what I was directing to you yesterday is like, where am I posting? Like, where am I posting? Because things are obviously, like you said, they're duplicated across from Warpcast to Wildcard.
So think of it as, instead of thinking of it as like duplicated, think of it as when you're posting on Warpcast or you're posting on Wildcard or Dracula, you're actually just posting on Farcaster. And Warpcast and Wildcard are more like viewfinders to view the actual content, right? So like if there was like a tide pool, drops in 1 minute, sorry if I've seemed distracted. But if there's like a tide pool of fish and all these content, I'm just making a full about fish today, and you wanted to see it, you might go, oh, I'm gonna put on my Wildcard viewfinder. And it gives you an experience that maybe has like a self-identifying thing of what you're looking at. You're like, ooh, but I really want to take a really good photo. And so you grab Warpcast and you put that on, and now you can do that. And so the pool is the same, and you can keep adding to it, no matter if you're adding it through Warpcast or Farcaster, but you're viewing it or the experience, the UI layer, that's the part that are these clients. And so you're not duplicating it. It's really just two different ways to view the content. And that's how your followers stay together and all of that.
So it's really about finding where you feel the most comfortable, right?
Yeah, or be comfortable in multiple places too. Like you can. And so unlike like Web 2 social media, it's like I'm relying on Twitter giving me the content that I want. Sorry, it's 8 seconds to the drop, so I'm gonna go for the drop. But yeah, so Web 2, you're hoping.
Want to share screen for the drop?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be like in 0 seconds. So hold on, I gotta go for it.
Okay, go.
My heart's pounding. Always is with all these drops.
Do it.
I get it. Did I get it? So this is telling me if I got the selected by the wait list or not. It's determining who has that, and then I get to go for the drop. it's been a while since I've gone for a straight drop. So
very excited. I wish you could share screen so we could actually see.
I've been selected. So now, because I've been selected, so there's a green thing up here. And so now I can just hit buy now. And I have 5 seconds to buy. And it got delivered here.
Yes. Do you know what you got yet?
I got the ultra rare. Okay, not rigged. I mean, did it live. So like I got the rarest one. And it's a low mint because they're all low mints because it's a pretty scarce drop. And so I actually have this guy now in my app.
Oh, that's
and awesome. So this is like the flat version where you can like watch the video of it like spinning around and whatnot. Okay. But because I own it, I can actually like view it and place it in AR. It'll be hard to do it through this, but I can place it in the room with me and it'll swim around the whole room. And so it's an NFT, but it has a lot more than just like a flat JPEG, in my opinion. And so that's, yeah.
That is really cool.
I'm seeing if I can do.
I'm waiting for Vivi to download again because it somehow did from my app.
A lot of people are coming back into it for this drop, which I'm grateful for.
Yes, you're driving traffic back.
So here you can see him like swing around.
Oh my goodness. Glowing. Oh, that's awesome.
And then you can move it and whatnot. See, I'm moving him around. I can rotate and all that stuff. Doing this like left-handed. And if I tap him, see how he goes and swims off?
Oh, he does a little drive-by.
He does a little drive-by, yeah. But then some of them do like different directions. Some of them will keep swimming in circles, stuff like that. And he comes back around and then back to rotating. So one cool thing too.
Before we even go any further, like the music, you really just kind of flew by it, but the music that you've produced for Fishes, like there's entire albums, and this music is it's so good.
So the first album my friend Tough Junkie did, he's super cool, and it's more like almost like a hip hop jazz type album, and so kind of not something that you would just like listen to nonstop, like not a hit single kind of thing, but it is an experience, which is what I kind of wanted for the first at bat. And there are some songs that you can go back and listen to again and again, but it's this journey that he kind of took everybody on. Excuse me. There's a second album though that is not yet released. That is the concept of what do Fish listen to, and so came up with a fictitious band similar to like the Gorillaz, right? That Fish would listen to, and then worked with one of my friends who's a musician and did this whole album. And it's kind of like almost like a festival rock band kind of thing, but there's songs that are for everyone, no matter what your kind of genre preference is, but they are more in line with what you would hear like on the radio. All the songs kind of in their own right could be like radio hits in my opinion, and so that's still yet to come. I could just drop it, it's done, it's like mixed and mastered and everything, but I'm working on not yet. I'm working on an experience that would be more interactive. Like my current idea is to have this like band performing and each song or track is like a new level, and not a game, but like something that is like a passive kind of game. And they keep either raising up or dropping down, working through all the mechanics of what's easier. And each one will be its own kind of like mini game. And then you can try and race your way through the song and things like that, and points and leaderboards. So something that I think would be cool for just like an interactive experience to interact with the music instead of just going, oh, it's a thing and you listen to it once. Something that can go back and replay and stuff like that. So
it's super exciting. So while I wait for Vivi to download and get my Fish,
it's almost rebound time. So rebound time is where they're like, okay, everybody that bought one before, we're going to go through and you have 2 minutes. Now it's 2.5 minutes now. If there's any left, then you can go for it. So and right now they haven't calculated all the totals yet because it's happening like live. There's a chance that it's sold out from the first round, but we'll see.
So exciting.
Yep.
All right, so we are going to talk about Basecamp. So I'm just going to share my screen. Let's see. Where are we here? Sorry, folks. All right. Here it is. Okay. So good news, folks. If you are not in town for Basecamp, fear not. Have JOMO, not FOMO, because you can actually attend the panels tomorrow. And here's what's coming up. So Jesse Pollock is, of course, going to be there, of course. And just a little note that Jesse actually created Base this time last year in Idlewild with a Starlink connection. So this is, I guess, Base's birthday this week, which is very exciting. So Jesse is going to be there. There's also going to be, we're going to hear from Brian Armstrong, CEO and co-founder of Coinbase. Vitalik, sadly not in person, but virtually going to be here. And then we have folks from head of product, engineers. We have Neri, who's just been awesome, great supporter of everybody in the ecosystem, and a few other folks, engineers, products, et cetera, et cetera. So here's what's happening for those that are in town. Today, we are all heading to Idlewild, where I'm actually in LA right now. We're getting picked up by the buses, and we are being taken out to Idlewild for check-in. You can see it's a little touch grass mixer. Look at this. Can we just look at this? Michelin-starred chef. They are not playing.
No.
They're not playing. They're treating their build as well. And then tomorrow, as you can see here, 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. Pacific. So you will have 3 hours of programming that you can actually join and attend. So here is the info for the live stream. It's going to be tune into the Basecamp live stream, 10 a.m. Pacific on August 1st. Now, where is that, though? That's the question. Where's the live stream? I don't see a link. But we will get that for you. We'll make sure that you have it. So JOMO, not FOMO, folks. You will be able to actually participate and watch the programming, which is really cool.
I think it's a really cool way to do it. Yeah, because you not only can people get there and get like the hands-on experience, which I'm sure there's a lot of value to, like the one-on-one, being able to talk in groups and just socialize and whatnot. But also for people that can't make it due to whatever reason, like myself even, I can tune into the live stream and still get some like a good chunk of the content and still stay connected. So I just can't say enough things about how Base seems to be repeatedly aiming for the right things. And nothing's perfect. We're building it while we fly, but also like what it's enabling in so many things, from like the smart wallets to their transaction platform and things like that. There's like grants for like paying people gas for like a certain amount of time to like help onboard people. I think they're aiming at the right things for true massive adoption. And I get that tons of projects have said that. There's no token. There's no like thing to like where it's like we're doing all this stuff, dangling a carrot. Like no, they're just doing it because it needs to happen. So is the Superchain, right? Like the way that just everything works together is really cool to see. And so for me, I do feel like we finally are maturing and moving in the right ways for this platform to be approachable and palatable for people that are, whether you're super technical or not technical at all. It's making the ability to get on chain fun, easy, simple, way more than it ever has been. So,
and I also want just a little alpha here. I am actually going to be covering the entirety of Basecamp and FWB Festival for Optimisn. So I'm going to be on the ground with my cell phone and a microphone, and I'm going to be capturing kind of on-the-spot interviews, behind the scenes, whatever you want to see here. Let me know if there's somebody that you want me to go grab for an interview. I will do my best to make sure we get them.
I just went for the drop again. Sorry, I got another ultra rare. I don't know. People even say it's rigged, but yeah. So 2 of the most rare things.
That's very exciting.
I wanted the blue one though, so we'll see. But yeah.
All right, I'm going to try again.
I'm going to stop buying it before someone says I've like somehow got like whitelisted to only getting ultra rares. But yeah,
so we have one more thing to cover, and I know you have a hard stop in 7 minutes, so I want to make sure we get to it. But well, 2 things actually. So since I'm at Basecamp, and they did push back the reveal for the announcement of Builder Grants.
Again, or until today?
No, until tomorrow.
Okay, that's what I thought.
If you have a project in the Buildathon, you are going to know tomorrow whether you have won any grants or funding or support or amplification from the Base team. So tomorrow is the big day, which is super exciting because we have 2 projects in. We have Recollects and we also have send help.xyz. And we decided just kind of in this ideation process, because we had a lot of questions coming up and we wanted to try and understand the needs of our potential clients for help. We decided to put together an accelerator, and we had an overwhelming response. We had a ton of people apply for that accelerator. It's going to kick off on August 5th. And we're going to hopefully reveal the winners, or at least start sending out emails today and announce the winners by the end of the week. So just very excited about that. And you've been building.
Yeah.
I know you're in feature right now, but can you give us like top level?
Yeah. So I think the goal from one was let someone jump in and in minutes tell their story, tell them what they need and what they plan to do with it, and launch a campaign. And so that we built in very, very quickly and during the build-a-thon. We refined it afterwards to make it to where when you have a campaign page, originally it was just going to be a frame. Now when you create a campaign, you have your own website that you can host it on. You can use an embed code to host it on your website. If you anybody that shares the link, it shares it as a frame. And so all that kind of works. Hand holding wasn't in. So we've come a long way in just a short month since the build-a-thon. And yeah, we're continuing to expand. The current thing that we're pushing on is NFTs, because I think donate to mint is a fun concept. And so making it to, oh, you're not logged in. Yeah. So that the donate to mint will, I think, be something that helps empower folks to create art like of their own, or some kind of token or memento or a thank you for donating. And then they can do a variety of different things. There's like you can bring your own project in, is my hope. Like that's something I'm working on, where if you already have like 1,000 assets and 1,000 metadatas, you can just upload them. And then we will start to give them out either randomly or by number, however you want to do it. Or you can have like multiple variations of something, whether it's one, if you just only have one artwork, or you can do 3 different things. And then you can have minimum donation amounts for each one. People can either pick, or you can do it randomized. So just continue to give features. And so then that will kind of mutate the campaign page into having like almost like, instead of just donate and get something, which in a way could be buying, but I think it's, make a minimum donation at least, and then get something back. And it's just a cool way to have a memento and like proof that you helped somebody, right? So that's like the first thing that we're gunning for now. And there's a bunch of other things like discovery tools, being able to see like who needs help. Maybe you haven't found a campaign through a page or through a frame, but you've got an airdrop, you want to make some good out of it. That's coming. And then also MoonPay, we're probably going to integrate with them to allow people that don't have crypto to pull in, get on chain technically, and donate. So just a lot of stuff to try and make it the easiest platform to give or receive.
We are shipping in the back channels here, folks. And we're also talking with a major nonprofit that has a big initiative coming up in the 100 days leading up towards the election to help get the youth vote out. It's a nonpartisan initiative, and we're likely going to be helping them with fundraising and also onboarding at the same time. How great is that? So super excited. I think that is it. So I want to make sure you have the last word here, because it is a big day for you, and congratulations on reviving the fiche and bringing this VV drop to the masses. So yeah, any final thoughts?
If you're interested, the VV fiche are available. You can download VV right now, or jump on the website and go for the drop. It is now just free reign. So the wait list is gone. It's free reign. So we'll see who grabs them all. My Discord is going crazy with all the people that are minting. So I appreciate anybody that even thought about minting. Anybody that did go for the drop. Super cool to see. I do have a contest going. So if you grab something off of VV and you share on Twitter with the hashtag VV Fishy Underworld as a hashtag, I will pick some of the AR content and pick one. I'll probably have my kids help me pick which one they think is the coolest. And then I'm sending out a physical plushie of DJ Octo, which is one of the character features.
Do you have him in grabbable distance?
I don't know. My kids keep running off with him. So it's either let him stay at a reachable place for them to grab, or keep him far away and like up high or something like that, and then not be able to enjoy the DJ octopus. So but yeah, I appreciate anybody that even thought about it. This has been a labor of love. Unlike some of the other drops that happen on VV, like this is completely in-house of like my art, working with my modeler, and bringing it to life. And so every little thing, every little detail has been thought out. So
I was trying desperately to find DJ Octo in the back on your website.
It's on the main page, because you can buy one. But if you're in the US, I'm doing content. Shipping be crazy outside the US. I lost my tail shipping. I had colossal DJ octopuses that were like 4 feet tall. Those were not cheap to ship. So
that was pretty epic. Here, I found him. Hold on. Let me just, people need a visual of DJ Octo so they know what we're talking about.
And they're a chunky, like they're 10 inches. Yeah. The picture doesn't do justice of the height, but it's like 10 inches tall and like it's like 15 inches wide. So he's
look at him,
big boy, and he DJs all the parties. So.
He's so stinking cute. So yes, if you want a DJing octopus, go mint a fiche on Vivi. Not financial advice, but fun advice. How about that?
Fun advice. Yes.
All right. All right. Well, happy Basecamp week, everybody. If you're here,
have fun out there. I'm excited. I'm going to be tuning into the live streams.
And folks, if you are at Basecamp, please come say hello. Let's chat. If you're building something fun, let's get you on the show. And we will be back this time next week to recap some awesomeness. This has been the Superchain Spotlight Show. Thank you so much for tuning in.
See you
Bye,
later.
friend.